everyone, it's Tracy here from Temperance Tarot, and I have a new tarot deck, a new indie deck that I wanted to walk through really quickly because I want to shuffle it. So I want to go ahead and do a walkthrough. It is called the Lion's Gateway Tarot. It's an indie deck. You can get it on Etsy, and I understand that very recently the Kickstarters were shipped out, and I saw a walkthrough done by somebody who had gotten it through the Kickstarter. I did not. I just ordered it from her website. It took like 2, maybe 3 days to get from California to South Carolina. And yeah, it's kind of pricey, and so I hemmed and hawed for several days, but I just fell in love with some of the images. So let's do a quick walkthrough. It comes in this sturdy box. I'm doing a little bit of a different setup here because I want to try to do this on my iPad. It's easier to edit because I can see what I'm doing, but I haven't figured out exactly how to set this up to get far enough away. So anyway, it comes in this 2-piece box. Here's the bottom, and there's the top. A nice, hard, sturdy 2-piece box. And it comes with this little booklet. And I do want to read a little bit about this artwork because it's a bit unusual. It's drawn and then wood burned and then painted. So I want to read a little bit about her process. Her name is Jessica Lee Henry, the creator. She did the artwork and the text. And here we go. There's some background. Apparently she was very familiar with tarot. It was something, she got her first tarot deck when she was 14, the Aquarian Tarot. And she always knew that she'd make her own tarot deck. And a year and a half before her 50th birthday, she finally decided to do it. And she wanted to finish it before her 50th birthday. So for 6 months, she drew the images. And then after all 78 cards were drawn, she began wood burning them. The first image, The Magician, was burned on August the 8th, 2017. And August the 8th is the day of the astronomical Lion's Gate. It's when the brightest star, Sirius, aligns with the pyramids, streaming light into the Queen's chamber. It was a significant time to the ancient Egyptians, the beginning of the year, when the Nile would flood, bringing new life. It was that day, the day I burned the first card, that I decided to name the deck Lion's Gateway Tarot. And then she goes on to talk a little bit more about her creative process. And yeah, it's just something very rustic and special about the artwork. The contents of the little book, although it's a fairly small book, it's only like 47, maybe 50 pages. She's got an opening invocation, working with the tarot, honing your intuition, basics, majors, minors, courts, 1 card draw, 3 card draw, Celtic cross, and then her bio that I just read. So let's have a very quick look at the cards. And we start with the Magician. Oh, and let me show you the bags. They're very bright yellow. I would call this the yellow from, it's on my iPad, it's reading a little softer than it actually is in person, or a little greener, I think is where I want to go. It's reading a little greener. It's a bright, cheery sunshine yellow, like from almost the same color as like the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So let's go with the Magician and the High Priestess. The deck is bigger than a standard tarot deck, and I'll do a comparison in a minute. The cardstock is absolutely magnificent. It's one of the reasons I bought the deck, because I heard that the cardstock was so beautiful. The Empress, and it is gilded. The Emperor. You'll get to really see the cards with this setup, though. The Hierophant. I loved this Lovers card because it sort of harkened back to the Marseille Lovers with the choice and the 2 women and the 1 dude. Where am I from? The Chariot. Strength. Lovely Strength card. It's Rider-Waite. It's pretty much Rider-Waite. But I just fell in love with the vibrancy of the colors and the sort of simplistic art style that felt a little, I don't know, folk arty to me. He's definitely contemplating. Yeah. Yeah, I also wanted to try this setup because I thought that I wouldn't have as much issue with light. This is a new iPad. Yeah, I think I've had it for 2 or 3 months. Has a better camera. The sun also is more like a Marseille deck with the twins. And then we should have, yeah, the full. She's got the full at 22, and I believe she explains why. But I just love that face and that sun on that full card and that rainbow, you know? And then this was, I think, the card that made me get the deck, was the Ace of Cups. I mean, that is just gorgeous. Two of Cups. The primitive sort of nature of the artwork, the folk art nature, does give you occasional odd, unnatural angles, like this woman. But I do like the fact that she is turning to look back at the 2 cups, but her body posture is a little, you know, unnatural. But I kind of like that. This is the dreamiest cardstock ever. Oops. Knocked something on the floor. There is a sameness to the faces that I actually kind of like. It just, because all the people look like they could be the same person, they could all be me. Now, granted, there are some slight variations, and you can generally tell the difference between a male and a female, and oh, I love that. It's interesting that there's no helpers, but my goodness, the colors are so gorgeous. Love that. That's just beautiful. Just what can I say? There's not a card in this deck that I don't like. Yeah, some of the kings, most of the kings have a little facial hair. But, yeah. Oops, sorry. And this 3 of Swords is another reason that I bought this deck. I love that sunshine underneath which could be, you know, if you read reversals, that could be seriously significant. But even without reading reversals, which I don't tend to read reversals, it does allow for some hope. Four of Swords. It doesn't look like a dead guy. It looks like a sleeping guy. I love this color, this grayness in the Five of Swords. Oh, and the Six of Swords. I love this one, the way it looks like he's cutting through the air. Her little signature is lovely and unobtrusive as well. I'll see if I can get it. It's down there. They look like they're missing their horses. It reminds me of Monty Python. Oh no. With the coconuts. Oh. All right, let's see if I can figure out a way to show you how it shuffles. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to give it a try. Oh, let me show you a size comparison first. Here's a card from the Lily White Tarot, which is standard tarot size. This is the Lily White Tarot, standard tarot size. All right, here's a size comparison of this is the Lily White, which is a standard tarot size, so it is wider and taller than your standard tarot deck. Riffle shuffling to show you on the iPad was not something that I could do. It does shuffle very nicely, and the overhand shuffle works really, really well. I can do it either way. This just isn't working. Using the iPad just did not really work. I need to go back to my iPhone with my overhead setup. But I like this deck. I like this deck a lot, and you'll be seeing it on Instagram in the days to come. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and have a fabulous day.